class. So our social studies lesson today is going to be on American Indian tribes. So what do you know about Indians? When you hear the name Indians, what comes to your mind? So I want you to turn and talk to your shoulder partner and share 2 facts each that you know about Indians. Okay, great. Now that we've completed this, get out a piece of paper. You are going to write down a question that you have about American Indians. So save that piece of paper because we are going to pull those questions out at the end of the lesson and revisit them. So I don't know how much you've ever heard of different songs sang and performed by American Indians. We are going to listen to this song called the Cherokee Morning Song. While you're listening to this song, think of a way in which the music of American Indians differs from the music of today. See if you can pick out the various instruments that they are using. We're only going to listen to a small piece of it. So isn't it very interesting to see how our cultures are so different, even related to the types of music that we listen to and even play? Also, you can probably notice that the music is different between different various Indian tribes as well. So let's focus on a few vocabulary terms that you are going to need to know to be successful throughout this lesson. These various academic language words will help you succeed, and you should be using them when you conduct your research at the end. Mounds, a large pile of gravel, earth, sand, rocks, or debris. Village, a community made up of a small number of houses, usually in a country area. Rituals, a ceremony or action performed in a customary way. Tribe, a group of people including family, clans, or generations. Culture, a pattern of behavior shared by a society or a group of people. So make sure you pay really close attention to these words and you're remembering them. Now that we've finished our read aloud of North American Indians by Douglas W. Gorsline and Marie Gorsline, let's look at a few Indian tribes that were presented to us in this book. So the first one is Etowah Indians. Etowah Indians built their homes on top of Indian mounds created by substances of the earth. They also built various mounds throughout the village with all of their houses residing on top of these mounds. The largest mound was the priest chief's home, so he could watch over the village. Etowah Indians actually didn't live in teepees, but rather in houses built of wood or rock frame covered in clay. You can see this house up here. This is an example of what one of their houses would look like. The Etowah Indian mounds symbolize rich society, or society rich in rituals. Fish were an important food source for Etowah Indians, so they typically lived near water for easy access. This group of Indians were political and religious. They frequently decorated themselves in shell beads, tattoos, paint, and much more. They participated in various dances that they believed would honor their ancestors and spirits. That's actually when they would decorate themselves in the beads, the tattoos, the paint, the feather dressings, the various things. So let's look at a picture tour real quick to give you an insight of what these Indian mounds look like. So this is probably the largest mound, and it is actually where the priests would reside. This is a virtual picture tour from an actual Indian mound in Georgia. Another picture of a stairway leading up. This is another picture of a side view of the Indian mound. This is the Mound B, which actually was called Lesser Temple Mound. I mean, you can see that it's smaller in size than the priest's mound. So now that you have in your head what these Indian mounds look like, there's also a picture up here at the top of the slide. You can see in comparison of how they build their houses maybe as opposed to other Indians, and where they would place them. Let's keep going. So now let's look at Cherokee Indians. It's another tribe that was mentioned in our book. The Cherokee Indians are known for being the largest tribe in the United States. The Cherokee name means speakers of another language. Their homes were made from tree logs and then covered with mud and grass to fill in the walls. So at this point, you should be making some mental comparisons and noticing some differences between the Cherokee Indian tribe and the Etowah Indian tribe. They farmed, hunted, and fished and gathered. They farmed veggies such as corn, squash, and beans, and even hunted deer, rabbit, turkey, and sometimes bear. Cherokee Indians were very religious people. They performed special ceremonies to ask the spirits to help them. During these ceremonies, they painted themselves and wore costumes, as you can see down here. The Cherokee Indian families lived in a village that consists of about 30 to 50 different families. So now that we've completed our lesson portion, you are going to conduct a small research paper individually. You will be assigned an Indian tribe that is native to Alabama. So after you've completed the research paper, then what you will do is you will be assigned a partner. And this partner has also been assigned the same Indian tribe that you have. You're going to put together the various facts that you've researched, and you are going to create a PowerPoint presentation. And you will also be presenting this presentation to the class, and I will be assessing your work as you're presenting it. So let's reflect back to the question earlier. Let's find 2 questions that were unanswered. Okay, great. Now that we've got these 2 questions, we're going to go to the library and we are going to find the answers to these questions. You can work individually, with a partner, or with a small group. So now let's take a look at the questions that were asked to be answered. Identify how you work with ELL students in this lesson. So in this lesson, I incorporated various visual aids. The students worked in small group, whole group, partner work, group work, so that it could be successful for all students. So they would work with students of like needs, academic needs. So ELLs might be placed with ELLs, and so forth. How do you address issues of diversity and culture in the classroom? So culture was a vocabulary word. It was implemented into the lesson by us discussing various cultures of the Indians. We discussed 2 different tribes of 2 different cultures. We compared and contrasted those 2, and we also compared and contrasted the Indian tribes to life today. How do you include differentiation, mastery, etc. into the classroom? So I ensured to implement various visual aids like the book. I implemented a picture tour. They worked small group, whole group, individually with a partner. I provided extra assistance if needed. I would do one-on-one. There was various ways that I implemented differentiation into this. It was just I also had a song. So as you can see, the lesson was presented in a variety of ways. How did you integrate literature into the classroom or into the lesson? So literature was used in this lesson with the read aloud, and the students were instructed to follow along. After the read aloud and the presented information from the PowerPoint, then the students were to complete a graphic organizer of comparing and contrasting the Etowah Indians to the Cherokee Indians. How were you able to build other subjects into this lesson? So social studies, obviously in this lesson, language arts was implemented by, they wrote a research paper, they participated in a read aloud, they were required to read online articles. So there was various ways that literature was implemented. They did the graphic organizer. Technology was also another tool that was implemented. They were required to research on their own. So they had to use a Chromebook or iPad, or even tools from the library, books, different ways to find the answers to these questions. Thank you for watching.